It's 11 trivia questions on pop culture, math, questions about movies, music, television, and more with some numbers mixed in, written by listener John Hutton. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be, and welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. You can call me R. Biddy if you want my name on the streets, the main streets of Crestwood, Illinois, where I grew up. Everybody called me R. Biddy. I used to wear a do-rag. It got messy, guys. But thanks for checking out my show. I've cleaned up. I'm off the streets, and now I live in the suburbs. And I ask trivia questions. And today is no different because we do this show every single day. So if you like trivia, if you like pop culture, you're in the right place. Today we have pop culture math, questions written by John Hutton, who started listening to the show recently. And he wrote me some emails saying how much he liked the show. And then he said, hey, I got some questions for you. So I'm going to send them your way. And he sent me 11 of these. And guys, these are pretty dang nerdy. So if you like math, if you're like, why is there not more math trivia in the world and on this show, you're in for a treat today. Because these are questions about things you have to know in pop culture and things you have to know in math. So let's see how you do on these questions in just a second. Now, if you want to submit questions to me, I'm always looking for content. You can drop me a line at ryanbuds@gmail.com. You can let me know a topic you want to do or a topic you want me to do, and I will try and work it in. Also, if you ever have a question about like starting a trivia night or getting something going or doing a special event, I'm happy to help you out with that anytime. My friend Scott K from Canada just wrote me and said, hey, I was looking to get some advice on advertising myself as a trivia host. Do you have any good ideas? And he gave me some background on himself and some bullet points, and I sent him back a bunch of ideas. So happy to do that whenever I have the time. And if you have questions about how to make it in the old trivia biz, I can do my best to guide you in the right direction like Mickey and Rocky. I'll be in your corner just screaming stuff at you like a little goblin. It'll be awesome. And we're going to jump into these 11 questions from John Hutton right about now. Here we go. All right, John Hutton writes with these questions. Write down the answers. You'll probably need a pen and pencil for some of these. Question number 1. The category for this question, he says, is sports and games. Over the past 100 years, what is the number of Chicago Cubs World Series titles times the number of St. Louis Cardinals World Series titles? So there's a multiplication question. Multiplication? Sounded like Professor and multiplication. I should go back and edit those two words, but I'm going to keep them in because if you've listened to the show before, you know that I usually do. But just try and figure out that question, okay? Number 1, sports and games. Number of Cubs World Series wins against the times the number of St. Louis Cardinals World Series wins. That's number 1. Question number 2, sports and games again. What is the sum of the uniform numbers of Michael Jordan and Gilbert Arenas? Use the numbers they played with the majority of their professional careers. The sum of the uniform numbers of Michael Jordan and Gilbert Arenas. Use the numbers they played with the majority of their professional careers. So we're looking for the sum there. Number 2. Question number 3, science and technology. What is the difference of the atomic numbers of oxygen and lithium? Number 3, what is the difference of the atomic numbers of oxygen and lithium? Doing a little subtraction there. Number 3. Question number 4, arts and literature. What is the product of the number of ghosts in A Christmas Carol and the number of the companies that, what does this say? The number of ghosts in A Christmas Carol and the number that completes the title. A Tale of Blank Cities. Got it. Now, I should have read the second line first, but you can figure that out. What is the product of the number of ghosts in A Christmas Carol and the number that completes the title, A Tale of Blank Cities? So multiply those two numbers by each other for a total. Question number 5, languages. What number is represented by the Slovak word jeden, J-E-D-E-N, the Korean word hana, H-A-N-A, and the German word ein, E-I-N? What number is represented by jeden in Slavic, the Korean word hana, H-A-N-A, and the German word ein, E-I-N? Question number 6, television. Add the following: the season number of The Simpsons that ended in spring 2019, and the number of sons that Raymond Barone had on Everybody Loves Raymond. Add those two numbers together for a total, number 6. Question number 7, vocabulary. Which number is stated in the definition of the word triskaidekaphobia? Number 7, which number is stated in the definition of the word triskaidekaphobia? I'll spell it just for people who like spelling. T-R-I-S-K-A, triska, and then I-D-E-K-A, so idekaphobia, P-H-O-B-I-A. Triskaidekaphobia. What is the number that goes with that? Question number 8, movies. What is the number of Roger Moore James Bond movies minus the number of Daniel Craig Bond films? Only count movies that have been released in theaters as of June 2019. Number 8, the number of Roger Moore James Bond movies minus the number of Daniel Craig Bond movies. Only count the ones that have been released as of June 2019. Question number 9, potpourri. What is the number of the books in the Bible minus the rest of the title of the movie Ocean's Blank that was released in 2001? Number of books in the Bible minus the rest of the title Ocean's Blank that was released in 2001. Question number 10 is about history. Add the following missing numbers. Barack Obama and Donald Trump are presidents number blank and blank. Add those two numbers together. Obama and Trump, blank and blank. And number 11. Oh my God, there's a theme? What? He just blew my mind because I didn't read these. John, well done. What is the theme to all the answers in this quiz? So if you got all the answers right, there will then be a theme at the end as if it wasn't hard enough. Written in order, what is that theme? Number 11. All right, guys, that was a challenging quiz from John Hutton. We'll be right back with the answers in just a second. Here we go, John, Trivia Master. You should just take over this show, John. These were incredible. Great job. Question number 1, sports and games. Over the past 100 years, what is the number of Chicago Cubs World Series titles times the number of St. Louis Cardinals World Series titles? That was 1 times 11 for a total of 11. Number 1 was 11. Question number 2, sports and games. What's the sum of the uniform numbers of Michael Jordan and Gilbert Arenas? That would be 23 plus 0 equals 23. So we got number 1 was 11, number 2 was 23. Here's number 3, science and tech. What's the difference of the atomic numbers of oxygen and lithium? That would be 8 minus 3 for a total of 5. Number 4, arts and literature. What is the product of the number of ghosts in A Christmas Carol times the tale of two cities? That would be 4 times 2 for a total of 8. So I think the 4 ghosts are Jacob Marley, ghost of past, present, and future. People always kind of forget about Jacob Marley, I think. Number 5, languages. What number is represented by the Slavic word jeden, the Korean word hana, and the German word ein? That would be number 1, the number 1. Number 6, television. Add the following: the season number of The Simpsons that ended in spring 2019 and the number of sons that Ray had in Everybody Loves Raymond. That would be 30 plus 2 for 32. Number 7, vocabulary. Which number is stated in the definition of the word triskaidekaphobia? That is 13. I think that's fear of the number 13. Number 8, movies. What is the number of Roger Moore movies minus Daniel Craig Bond movies? That would be 8 minus 4 for a total of 4. Number 9, potpourri. What is the number of books in the Bible minus the rest of the title of Ocean's 11? We had 66 minus 11 for 55. Number 10, history. Add the following missing numbers. That would be Barack Obama and Donald Trump as presidents, 44 and 45 for a total of 89. And the theme to all the answers in these questions, if you figured this out, you're some sort of guru, some sort of genius, some sort of John Hutton, and it says written in order, these numbers represent the numbers of the Fibonacci sequence, something I don't even know what it is. I've heard of it a million times, but I don't know what it is. I'm not going to look it up. But if you know what it is or you were able to figure that out, you are a true trivia champ. Pat yourself on the back. And you should pat yourself on the back, John Hutton. Nice questions. Great quiz. Thank you so much for sharing those with listeners of this show. If you want to submit something like John did, email me, ryanbuds@gmail.com. Always looking for some fun quizzes. And we got a fun one tomorrow on tribonds, where I give you 3 words. You have to tell me what they all have in common. It's based on a game that I think you could buy in the 90s called Tribonds. And if you ever go to a Goodwill thrift store, you could usually find it every couple stores or so if you like to go thrifting. It is time for the trivia team name of the day. Trivia team name of the day is math inspired, and it is Still Haven't Used Algebra, something I utter to myself almost weekly. And I've seen it a few times as a trivia team name. Thought it would be perfect for today's math inspired episode. Still haven't used algebra. Try that one next time you play trivia. And today we have a question of the day brought to you by Funky Monkey Design of San Dimas, California. Check them out at fmdesignsinc.com. If you need something printed, they'll design it for you. They'll embroider it. They'll put something on your varsity jacket or your kid's jacket. Just check them out and tell them Bud sent you. The question is, in what decade did the Three Stooges release their first film? In what decade did the Three Stooges release their first film? Tweet me your answer at RyanBuds or email ryanbuds@gmail.com to be eligible for a prize. Guys, thank you so much for listening. John, thanks for those questions, and we'll see you tomorrow for more trivia with me. Cheers.